The couple, who had been married for many years, longed for a child to carry on their lineage. Despite their fervent prayers and numerous attempts, they remained childless. Eventually, they resigned themselves to the idea that they might never have an heir. One day, the husband, Uncle Tan, ventured into the forest to gather wild mushrooms for cooking. As he wandered deeper into the woods, he encountered an elderly man. The elderly man approached Uncle Tan and spoke softly. I know of your plight, and I understand that you and your wife desire a child. You are good people, and I wish to grant your wish. Follow my instructions. Ahead in this forest, you will find a large oak tree. Walk towards it. Sit and wait under the oak tree for a while. Soon, a beautiful bird will fly by. It will perch on a branch, holding a magical apple in its beak. This bird loves to hide the magical apple in the hollow of the oak tree to eat later. And you must take that magical apple and give it to your wife to eat. Once she does, your deepest wish will come true. Thank you so much, kind elder, Alan said gratefully. With that, the old man vanished. Alan immediately followed the instructions, retrieving the magical apple and rushing to give it to his wife. She ate the apple entirely, and not long after, Anna gave birth to a baby boy. She named him Jacob. Little Jacob grew up to be a cheerful and adventurous child who loved animals and thrived on adventure. Jacob had a special ability. He could speak the language of birds. He loved to lie under the oak tree, gazing at the sky and watching the birds. That day, unlike any other, he noticed two birds chatting on a branch of the great oak tree. One bird said, I'm really annoyed by those three dwarves. The other replied, yes, those dwarves have been arguing all day. I can't even rest properly. The three dwarves couldn't agree on who should own which of the three magical items. The dwarf with the red hat spoke up. This magical carpet should be mine. The dwarf with the green hat retorted, no, it should be mine. You should take the magical cloak instead. The dwarf with the yellow hat chimed in, no, the boots are yours. The carpet belongs to me. Jacob heard everything the birds said and replied, I'll help you. Both of you, take me to where those dwarfs are. The birds, delighted by his offer, agreed. Young man, follow us, they said. Jacob followed the birds deep into the forest, where they led him to the dwarfs. Emerging from his hiding spot, Jacob stepped forward and offered to help distribute the magical items among the three dwarfs. After listening to his suggestions, the three dwarfs finally reached an agreement. Oh, I forgot to mention another thing about Jacob. Not only could he speak the language of birds, but he also possessed immense strength. Jacob took three colored threads, red, green, and yellow, and tied them to a stick. He then threw the stick in three different directions, the red thread to the north, the green thread to the south, and the yellow thread to the east. He explained, if you want a specific item, go to the direction where its thread leads. The north holds the magical carpet, the south has the boots that can take you anywhere, and the east has the cloak of invisibility. Leave the three magical items here for now. The dwarf with the red hat went north, the dwarf with the yellow hat went south, and the dwarf with the green hat went east. When Jacob saw that the three dwarfs were out of sight, he said, I'll borrow these for a while, and return them when I'm done. With that, he sat on the magical carpet and flew away. Jacob arrived in a large city, landed the carpet, and headed into the marketplace to look for work. As he walked, an eye-catching announcement caught his attention, hiring babysitter for daughter, good pay. He immediately applied and was hired on the spot. His elderly employer had two daughters and one son. The old man shared his worries, explaining that he was deeply troubled by the behavior of his two daughters. Lately, my daughters have been acting strangely. They wake up much later than usual, and some days they just sleep all day. I found it odd, so I asked them if they go out at night, but they didn't give me any answers. This only made me more suspicious. I even asked my youngest son to keep an eye on his sisters, but now he's gone missing too. I'm at my wit's end. Young man, please, help me, the old man pleaded, his voice filled with desperation. All right, I'll help investigate what's going on with your daughters and find your youngest son for you, Jacob promised. The old man then led Jacob to his daughter's rooms and introduced him to the two sisters. Everyone sat together for a meal, enjoying the food until they were full. Jacob noticed something unusual about the older sister's behavior. She poured a glass of wine for Jacob, but he discreetly poured it out without anyone noticing. He then pretended to feel drowsy and excused himself to leave. Jacob used the magical cloak to make himself invisible and sneaked into the sisters' room to spy on them. The two sisters, thinking that the man their father had hired had fallen asleep from the sleeping potion they had slipped into his drink, said to each other, "He must be asleep by now. Let's go." They then opened the window and transformed into birds, flying away. Jacob was stunned for a moment, but quickly regained his composure. He immediately hopped onto the magical carpet and followed the sisters closely. The two transformed birds flew into the sapphire forest, where everything flowers, trees, and even the air was a deep shade of blue. Yes, this is the sapphire forest, Jacob thought to himself. He continued to follow the two bird women closely, making sure to pluck a few sapphire-colored leaves and tuck them into his pocket as proof, then flew onward. The birds flew through the emerald forest, where everything was a vibrant shade of green. Jacob did as he had before, plucking a few emerald-colored branches and keeping them as evidence. Once they emerged from the emerald forest, he saw a magnificent castle adorned with stunning emeralds standing before them. The birds transformed back into their human forms, and in front of them stood a grand, majestic gate. The grand door swung open, and the two sisters hurried inside the castle. Jacob followed closely behind. The three of them entered the great hall of the Emerald Castle, where Jacob laid eyes on the Queen of the Emerald Kingdom. He was utterly stunned by her breathtaking beauty. The two sisters entered the grand hall, where the Emerald Queen summoned a book that held knowledge of all things. She then taught the sisters a spell for transformation. Jacob, hidden and observant, memorized the transformation spell perfectly. It's almost morning. You two should head back now, the queen said. Jacob quickly left before the sisters, but as he exited the hall, he heard a faint voice calling out from the bushes. "Hey, can you see me or not? I can't see you at all. I saw that the branch broke by itself, so I thought someone must have followed my sisters here." Sisters? Yes, those two women are my sisters. So you are. My name is Jacob. Your father sent me to find you and investigate where your two sisters have disappeared to. I am Ethan. Nice to meet you, Jacob. Jacob opened the cloak and let Ethan come inside. Then they quickly got on the magic carpet and returned immediately. Ethan told Jacob that he had secretly learned magic from his sisters and transformed himself to follow them. He saw the Emerald Queen and was stunned by her beauty, causing him to recite the spells incorrectly. He couldn't transform back from being a bird, so he had been hiding here waiting for someone to help him. He was afraid that the Emerald Queen would catch and execute him. The two young men arrived back and quickly hid. The two sisters arrived, and Jacob and Ethan hurried to reveal themselves. They said they knew the sister's secret. Jacob showed them the branch he had collected. The two sisters admitted their wrongdoing. Jacob told the two sisters to go confess their misdeeds to their father. He said they should have informed beforehand instead of sneaking away like this. They promised not to do it again and begged Jake not to tell their father. They would tell him themselves. Jake went along with the two girls and Ethan. When the old man saw Ethan, he cried with joy, "Oh young man, you succeeded, it's all right." Old man, well then, I'll take my leave. Wait, Jacob, I have something I'd like your help with. Jacob, what is it, Ethan? It's about the Emerald Queen. Don't tell me you've fallen in love with her. Yes, I want you to help me win her heart. As for Jacob himself, he was also curious whether he could match against her book of wisdom. All right, I'll help you. It could be fun too. Jacob took Ethan back to the Emerald Realm and told him to secretly sneak into her bedroom. When she sees you, she will order the soldiers to arrest you for sure. Then ask for a chance from her. Then confess to her that you love her. Ethan followed Jacob's instructions word for word. Perhaps because the two were meant to be together, Veronica began to soften. All right, I will spare your life, but I have a condition. I will let you hide. You can hide anywhere, but if I find you before sunset, I will execute you. However, if the sun sets and I still haven't found you, I will marry you, Ethan. All right, I agree. Ethan told Jacob everything. Jacob then transformed into a giant eagle and took Ethan to hide in the clouds. Veronica used her magic mirror and read her book of wisdom. She knew and saw that he was hiding in the clouds. Veronica rang the bell, which meant she had found him. Ethan asked for one more chance since the sun hadn't set yet. All right, this time hide well. What should we do? The sun is about to set. Jacob gave Ethan a cloak and told him to hide in Veronica's room, waiting until sunset before coming out. Ethan went to hide in Veronica's room. She used the same methods as before, but this time she couldn't find him no matter how hard she tried. She searched the sky, underground, and in the water, but couldn't find him anywhere. Even after sunset, she still couldn't find him. This is impossible. Have I lost? She was about to destroy the mirror and burn the book, but Ethan came in to stop her. It's me, Ethan. I have won, Veronica. The wedding was held amid everyone's joy. Congratulations, Ethan and Veronica. May you both be happy. Jacob, I am in your debt. If ever you are in trouble and need help from me and Veronica, just open this small box and we will hurry to help you, Jacob. Thank you truly for your kindness. Well, I'll be going now. Someday I'll find my own perfect match too. Goodbye, Ethan. Everyone bid farewell and hope to meet again someday. Jacob traveled back home. Before reaching home, he stopped in the deep forest to return the items to the three dwarfs. He returned the cloak to the red-headed dwarf, the magic carpet to the yellow-headed dwarf, and the go-anywhere shoes to the green-headed dwarf. Jacob returned home with the wooden box memento from Ethan. Please follow our next story. If you like it and enjoy it, please like and share. Thank you.